total bullshit. It's total bullshit. It pisses me off, to be honest. Over the last year, those type of searches, those clickless searches where people are getting their answer without going to a web page, have gone up 500%. That's going to rapidly increase. I love seeing the underdog win. Like, I want to see the local guys win. What is up, guys? Eric here with Contractor Growth, contractorsmartsite.ai. I want to share a story and some ideas. I've been having a lot of conversations lately with contractors of all sorts, and I had a conversation recently that really inspired this conversation. So what I'm going to be getting into is some shifts that are happening in the digital marketing space, in the online space, in the SEO space, in the discoverability space, and some strategies you can use to go up against the private equity giants that are pushing a lot of you contractors and squeezing you and making things like PPC not work as well as it used to. I know a lot of you are feeling that pinch. So back to the story. The story starts, I'm having a conversation with a potential client about a new website. And we're going through and looking at their current website and trying to decide if we should build a new site or update their existing site. And, believe it or not, we build websites. We make money on building new websites. We want to update that one. We don't want to build a new one because you're going to take a hit on the discoverability side. In most cases, not every case. If your current site is underperforming and you're not ranking locally, then we build a new site if your current site isn't structured well. So having this conversation with the gentleman, and I was asking him about his current site. And at one point I'm pointing out some things that are really structurally wrong and blocking him from being discovered. And he said, well, I didn't opt for the SEO package, so he just built me the website. But you're building a website. You're doing the same amount of work. And I see this so often that the person building the site doesn't build it to an SEO optimized standard because they didn't choose the SEO package, right? This is total bullshit. It's total bullshit. It pisses me off, to be honest, because it's not more work. I mean, I guess you just have to be not lazy and not careless. So, we're going to get to what we do and why we do it the way we do it. But it kind of irks me the amount of times I see a website that looks beautiful and is just built like shit on the back end, right? It's not optimized to be discovered. And now you have this pretty website that your mom loves, your neighbor loves, the people, who you're already friends with on Facebook. They love it when you share, hey, go check out our new website, right? But these are not the people who are going to hire you. I don't know why the coffee machine just kicked on. It's making a cup of coffee. A little creepy, but I'll stay focused. So, one of the things that's changing is discoverability is changing. And so traditional SEO is still important. Everybody wants to say SEO is dead. The things that allow LLMs, large language models, things like ChatGPT, Perplexity, Claude, the things that help you show up there are also the things that help with SEO. The difference is Google, Perplexity, ChatGPT, Claude, all these different things. This browser I'm on right now is an AI browser. They are all getting so good at crawling the internet and crunching the data on the back end that no longer is it enough to just focus on one area, right? Like, no longer is it enough to have a great Google business profile and a great website. Now, in a competitive market, it's important that you're actively getting shouted out on Facebook, right? So like networking groups, if you're in my local area, I'm a part of some networking groups. And if you're interested, I can introduce you. But like getting shouted out on local Facebook groups is huge for SEO because all of these platforms are crawling your social networks, right? Your social networks are linked. They should be linked to your Google business profile. If you don't have a Facebook page, it's time to get one. if you're in a competitive market, if you're in an easy market, you can get away with being a little lazier on the digital marketing side. But if you're in a competitive market and you want to go up against the giants, the private equity roll-up companies who look like mom and pop shops, but you and I both know that they're actually a conglomerate of 20, mom and pop shops, right? And really it's private equity coming in and basically buying the established Google business profile and the business, and they're gutting everything internally, right? Service level goes down. You probably do better service, but if you're not getting in front of new clients, you're never getting the opportunity to show that you're a great choice. So that's really, this live stream is aimed at, how do we go up against these giants? How do we body David and hit Goliath with that little stone that's going to drop him, right? And in this case, that means showing up in the top 3 on map results. One of the things that's really important now is structured data. Your website and all of your socials and everything, it's actually being used now as a knowledge base for AI. Some of you may have already heard the term clickless search. What that means is that what people used to go to your blog to learn more about and then possibly click through from your blog to request a quote or consultation, now they're getting that answer at the very top of Google or on ChatGPT or on Perplexity. Over the last year, those type of searches, those clickless searches where people are getting their answer without going to a web page, have gone up 500%. It's like 527%. That's going to rapidly increase. It already is going up really fast. So this is something that there's a wave coming, and there's going to be people who are ready to be in front of that wave, and there are going to be people who aren't ready for it, right? And they're going to be playing catch up. And once everybody's on the wave, it's too late. It's not really an opportunity anymore, but there is an opportunity right now. So one of the things I want to talk about is not having an integrated solution, right? That's what we offer. We have our CRM and our AI agents baked right into, just woven into the website. There's no separation between the website and your CRM. A lot of people I talk to, they get web form submissions or phone calls, and their strategy, because they're so busy, right? Like running a business, especially a small business, is challenging, especially if you're an owner operator, right? And so, my favorite is, the roofers or the exterior guys who are like, hey, it's raining tomorrow, I'm going to have an admin day, right? This is not a good strategy for your lead management. This is how you lose to the competition, the people who are getting back to leads fast. Speed is the name of the game. People are impatient. If they are taking the time to fill out your web form submission or call you on the phone and you don't answer, they're going to the next person on the Google Map rankings. Okay. So it's important that you're able to capture that lead immediately, even if it's just as an appointment, right? So your website from the very beginning needs to be set up as a lead attraction or a lead generation system. And the only way that happens is if it's SEO optimized and also optimized for all the LLMs. There are a few extra things that we can do to make sure that ChatGPT and all the other AI platforms see your website, right? So in my opinion, the people who have this tightly integrated system, where lead gen and lead management are woven together, and the loop of lead comes in, you find the time to get back to that lead. If we shorten that by integrating it all together, so there's never any like, oh, a request came in and now I need to reach out to make sure they fill out a form on my CRM so that I can input them into my CRM. That is not going to cut it. That is just not going to cut it. They should instantly be in your CRM. And if they're not, you're missing an opportunity. So that's super important. Another thing I want to bring up, really, again, just going back to the David and Goliath thing, is if you're not already aware of it, a big opportunity over the next few years for investors is buying blue collar businesses, because people are getting out of those businesses. They are getting out of them pretty cheap in many cases. And so it's a great investment opportunity because the demand is going up because the supply is going down. So what that means for you in your blue collar contracting business is that you are now competing more and more and more against these big roll-ups, private equity owned corporations who can afford to just flood the market with PPC, driving up, PPC cost, pushing you out of the market. So the way you compete is by becoming more and more efficient in your business. And efficiency comes from leverage. And leverage, the highest form of leverage is code. I've been giving talks on this locally at some of our different networking events and really connecting and really trying to share that your ability to leverage code is higher than it's ever been. You can speak in plain English to AI, and then AI can help you leverage code. The way you do it is find repetitive tasks and find ways to automate it. Find things that you used to write out emails over and over again, slightly different, and build tools in AI to help you manage that quicker. There are many, many ways you can do that. One of the things I want to offer to my network is just a free audit, and that could come from just a quick consultation call. We talk about, your website, how it's performing, what your process is from going to new lead comes in to reaching out and giving that lead a world-class experience into your business, and then how long it takes, what's the process like. And I'm just here to help point out areas that you can become more efficient, whether that's with me or with another company, totally unattached to that. I'm genuinely here to help. I love seeing the underdog win. Like, I've got nothing against private equity. I'm in business as an entrepreneur to make money. And I want to see the local guys win. I grew up blue collar in a blue collar family. I've worked a ton of blue collar jobs, structural concrete, masonry, roofing, interior demolition, like all kinds of the dirtiest jobs. Man, I've been on jobs for a week grinding the seams on concrete walls where concrete dust is just in every pore of my body. And I like those people. I genuinely like those people. So I want to help. I want to help local businesses. It's a great way to just create the world I want to see, right? So if you're interested, you can just comment below. You can send me a DM, share this with people you know. Let's help these small businesses thrive. That's really what I want to do. If you have any questions, drop them below. I can't see the comments because I'm live streaming through a third party. So if you did comment, hey, thank you. I appreciate you. You're awesome. And hopefully this is even live streaming. I guess I'll see after I'm done. But either way, I'll share it. So a lot of love to you guys. Have an awesome day. If you want a free audit, message me or comment below. Peace.